Dear student, I am V.N. Khairnar, PGT Physics from Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Shegaon. So in the previous lecture, the topics we have covered is first one, an alternating voltage applied to inductor. Alternating voltage or EMF applied to an inductor. In this case, we got the relation between E and EMF and current. E is equal to E naught sine of omega t and I is equal to I naught sine of omega t minus pi by 2. Here you told that, or here we have expressed that the current lags behind. Current lags behind. Current lags behind the EMF. The EMF by an angle of pi by 2. That you can see from this one. Second thing is that, second one, an alternating voltage or EMF applied to an inductor, to a capacitor, to a resistor, So in this case, you have drawn this resistor, and here you have applied the voltage or EMF. This is purely a resistive circuit. Here, in case of this purely inductor, we have used here the inductor, and you have applied the voltage or EMF across this resistor R. Sorry, here you got this. Here you got the inductor. That is L. So an alternating voltage across an inductor. Here alternating voltage across the resistor. That is nothing but your R. So here you got the relation that E is equal to E naught sine of omega t and I is equal to I naught sine of omega t. That means E and I, current and EMF, are in phase. That means there is no phase difference between these two. Now the third case we have to deal, third point we have to discuss now, that an alternating EMF applied EMF or voltage, you can say, applied to capacitor. This case now we will discuss. So once again, try to understand these two things where the current lags behind. In case of the inductor, both are in same phase. In case of the pure resistive circuit, now what happens in case of the capacitor, that we will discuss. So the next point is now alternating voltage or EMF applied to a capacitor. In second chapter, we have thoroughly discussed about this principle of capacitor, capacitance, etc. Now we have to apply the alternating voltage or EMF across this capacitor. So let us draw the diagram first. So this one is capacitor, and across this capacitor now I am going to apply here the alternating voltage or EMF, that is E is equal to E naught sine of omega t. So this is a capacitor. Now when the alternating voltage is applied across this capacitor, so this circuit is called as purely capacitive circuit. Purely capacitive circuit. So that you can see in this diagram also. There and here the alternating EMF we have applied across this capacitor. That is E is equal to E naught sine of omega t. Now let Q be the charge. Let Q be the charge on the capacitor. On the capacitor at any instant. At any instant. Okay, let this Q be the charge on the capacitor at any instant. Therefore, the potential difference across the capacitor, that is potential difference across this capacitor V suffix C is equal to Q by C. This relation also you have studied. But Vc is equal to E here in this case. Potential difference is equal to EMF in this case, or Q by C is equal to E. You can write simply, you have to put the value of this Vc as E, and again you have to substitute this equation 1, that means the value of E in this equation. Therefore I can write Q by C is equal to E naught sine of omega t. So I can write here, therefore Q is equal to C into E naught sine of omega t. You know the definition of the current, that is I is equal to dq by dt. Therefore, putting the value of this Q from here, you get d dt of C into E naught sine of omega t. Or I can write I is equal to E naught into C cos of omega t into omega. The derivative of this thing will get, that is I is equal to E naught C into derivative of sine of omega t is cos of omega t into omega. So ultimately you will get here that I is equal to E naught into C into omega cos of omega t. Now one substitution I will make, or I can rearrange this term omega c or c omega, that is I is equal to E naught upon 1 upon c omega into cos of omega t. This is the important steps in all this derivation. That means this c omega you are expressing as the c omega is at the numerator. Therefore, you can write 1 upon c omega. Ultimately, it will come to the numerator and you will get this step. So I have rearranged this one. Now I will compare this equation like this. Here, the cos of omega t. Again, I can write cos of omega t, or cos of theta, you can write sine of omega t plus pi by 2. Here is the turning factor is here. Once you will put the value of this cos of omega t in terms of the sine, because why you are converting in terms of sine? Because we have to compare the sinusoidal function of this EMF and the current. Therefore, you have converted this sine of omega t in terms of the cos of omega t in terms of the sine of omega t plus pi by 2. Put value in this equation. So I get I is equal to E naught upon 1 upon c omega into sine of omega t plus pi by 2. I hope all of you understood this equation. Okay. Now, by comparing this equation, that is equation first, and suppose this equation number 2. If I will compare this equation, then I can write that the current and the EMF here. Here the current is in the EMF is in the sinusoidal function sine of omega t, and here the current is sine of omega t plus pi by 2. So what you can say about from this equation, that means currents leads by, this plus means leads by pi by 2 than that of the EMF. Okay, so from this equation 1 and equation 2, I can write that the current leads the EMF by an angle of pi by 2. By an angle of pi by 2. See, in case of inductor, that means when the alternating voltage or EMF is applied across the inductor, that time you got this relation, that is current lags behind the EMF by an angle of pi by 2. But here in case of the purely capacitive circuit, or when you apply the alternating EMF to the capacitor, then the current leads here. Current leads the EMF by an angle of pi by 2. Leads means what? Here you got the plus sign, that's why you are saying that the current leads the EMF by an angle of pi by 2. So now for the purely capacitive AC circuit, the phasor diagram for the capacitor. Now we'll proceed for the phasor diagram. I hope all the steps, whatever we have proved, the relation between the EMF and current, so that the current leads the EMF by an angle of pi by 2. So all the steps you have understood here. Now we'll proceed for the, you can say, phasor diagram. So what will be the phasor diagram here, or what will be the nature of the phasor diagram in case of alternating voltage or EMF is applied to a capacitor? So for phasor diagram, I will take here for first one time diagram. Time diagram. So you can draw this time axis. Again you divide this one into 3 parts. Okay, this is your initial one. So on y axis E and I, and on time axis, no doubt, on x axis you have taken the time here. So this one is suppose your t by 4, t by 2, 3t by 4 and t. Then the nature or the time diagram for these two will be for the current. Now since the current leads the EMF by pi by 2, therefore the current will be, the nature of this one diagram will be like this. Okay, and for, we can say, for the EMF, it will start from the origin like this. So this is here, we can say the EMF E is equal to E naught sine of omega t, and this red one, we can say whatever you have shown, that is I is equal to I naught sine of omega t plus pi by 2. Now see here, the peak value of the current. Let us compare the peak value of this current here. So we can say that the E naught. So here we got the time diagram. So I will discuss this peak value of the current and the comparison of this value. First of all, we'll draw the phasor diagram now. So these are the values. These are the peak value of the EMF, that is E naught. Here it is I naught, and this side also we can say this is here minus E naught, and here I naught. These are the two values for the respective peak value of the current in the upward direction and the downward direction in case of the alternating voltage or EMF applied to a capacitor. Now for the phasor diagram, here the x-axis and the y-axis. Now since the current leads here by pi by 2, so I can show here the current leads by pi by 2 is the current peak value of the current, and this is the magnitude you can say here. Similarly, the pi by 2 means this is E naught. The current leads by pi by 2. This angle is pi by 2, and no doubt this angle is omega t. So this value of the peak voltage of the EMF is nothing but E naught, and the peak value of the current here will be the I naught. So this represents here the phasor diagram. So in the examination, they are asking about the phasor diagram in case of alternating voltage or EMF applied to a resistor, applied to the capacitor, and applied to the inductor. So these three cases are very important, because in all these three cases, individual or table we have studied now, we have to consider all these one into one circuit. That is, next topic will be the LCR series circuit. So first of all, whatever the this time diagram and phasor diagram we have got, just go through these two diagrams. Okay, so they may ask you the question that in which case the current leads the EMF by an angle of pi by 2. So the students are mainly getting confused here, in which case whether it's an inductor or capacitor, that means purely capacitive circuit or purely resistive circuit. So there is also one trick is there, how to remember this current lags behind and current leads by pi by 2, lead the pi by 2 to the EMF. Okay, so that trick I will tell you afterward whenever we will discuss about the series combination of LCR circuit. Okay, now we will proceed. Our next point is that capacitive reactance. So I hope student, please note down all these things in your copy. And next one, I will proceed for the capacitive reactance. Just like an inductive reactance, here we have the capacitive reactance. Capacitive reactance. So you have studied about what? Inductive reactance. Inductive reactance. That is nothing but here X suffix L. And now the capacitive reactance is X suffix C, capacitive reactance. So this case about this inductive reactance in case of DC and in case of AC. Okay, in case of, you got this relation, that is XL is equal to L omega, or you have written L into 2 pi nu, and you have deal with the two cases. That is the case for first one, that is for DC, the frequency is 0, therefore XL is equal to L into 2 pi into 0, so you will get XL is equal to 0 for DC. What is the meaning of this one? Inductive reactance, that means the opposition to the flow of current in case of the inductive circuit, purely inductive circuit for DC, its value is 0. That means there is no opposition to the flow of current in case of DC connected to the inductor. Okay. If in case of AC, now for AC, we have derived that the having certain frequency, suppose that is the finite value. I told you the finite frequency, suppose 50 Hz, then XL is getting L into 2 pi nu. So value is finite, some value is there. So therefore XL is equal to, you will get some finite value. Finite value. So here you got the 0, no opposition at all. Here got the finite value. That means the inductive reactance is nothing but the opposition to the flow of current in case of AC is there for the, you can say, for the inductor when you will apply the AC voltage for the inductor. Now I will proceed for capacitive reactance. So compare this equation. We have written the equation there. In case of this equation, what was the equation there? First equation in case of this purely capacitive circuit. Okay. In the case of purely capacitive circuit, you got the relation, that is for the EMF, E is equal to E naught sine of omega t, and I is equal to, that is I naught sine of omega t plus pi by 2. Okay. So now what is the value of the that is the peak value of the current? So when you have compared the value, that is I is equal to E naught upon 1 upon C omega into sine of omega t plus pi by 2. So this term is nothing but I naught. So I naught is equal to E naught upon 1 upon C omega. So in case of purely resistive circuit, we got the value of peak current, that is E is equal to E naught upon R. So we can conclude that, what we can conclude from these two? We can conclude that the 1 upon C omega has the dimensions of resistance. Therefore, this term 1 upon C omega is known as capacitive reactance. Capacitive reactance. Okay, and it is denoted by Xc. So the capacitive reactance, no doubt it's also a reactance, that means opposition to the flow of current. So capacitive reactance is nothing but one sort of opposition to the flow of current in case of the purely capacitive circuit. Okay. Now how the capacitor behave in case of AC and DC? Just like in case of inductive reactance, we have seen how the inductor behave in case of DC and AC. Similarly, in this case also, we will see now how the capacitor behaves for in case of AC and DC. So I will brush up these things. So I will use here the capacitive reactance Xc, capacitive reactance, this value, capacitive reactance Xc is equal to 1 upon C omega. So Xc is equal to 1 upon C omega, that means 1 upon 2 pi nu into C. Okay, this is called as a capacitive reactance. Capacitive reactance. Now let us deal with the first case. For DC, frequency is 0. Okay, if frequency is 0, that means whenever you will put the value of frequency in this formula, so I will get xc is equal to 1 upon 0, that means you will get the infinity. तो बच्चों इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि कैपेसिटिव रिएक्टेंस मींस वन सॉर्ट ऑफ opposition to the flow of current in case of the purely capacitive circuit, or when the capacitor is connected across the capacitor is connected across the given capacitor is connected to the alternating voltage. So xc is equal to, here you got the infinity. What is the meaning that one? Meaning is that here the resistance, one sort of resistance in case of capacitor is infinite. Infinite means what? That means there is no question at all to the for the DC to flow through the capacitive circuit or the purely capacitive circuit, because the resistance is infinite. The resistance is infinite. Okay, so if the capacitive reactance is infinity, that means the opposition to the flow of current in case of the capacitive circuit is infinite. That means it will not allow DC to pass, or you can say this type of circuit will block DC को जाने ही नहीं देगा. क्यों? क्योंकि उसका कैपेसिटिव रिएक्टेंस इनफाइनाइट आ गया. नाउ फॉर AC the frequency is finite, just like this case. For AC the frequency is finite. That means xc is equal to 1 upon omega c, or c omega is equal to 1 upon 2 pi nu c. So this value, all the values are present here. If you put the value of the capacitor here, the frequency is finite value here, something 50 Hz or like that, then 2 pi value is constant, so you will get some finite value. So here you got the finite value, here you got the infinite value. I think this finite value is less than the infinite value. Infinite means very high as compared to the finite value. So in comparing these two things, that means DC and AC, so at least in comparison with the DC, it will allow AC to flow through it. It will allow AC to flow through it, because you see this value you will get, some value you will get, and that too 1 upon this small value, that xc is equal to 1 upon finite value you will get, that finite value, and 1 upon some finite value is nothing but the this total, you can say the division will also very small value. That means this capacitive reactance is small value as compared to this infinite value. So we can say that in case of capacitive circuit, it allows AC to flow. It will allow AC to flow. AC को पास करेगा, लेकिन DC को क्या करेगा? ब्लॉक करेगा. पास करेगा क्यों? क्योंकि वैल्यू है उसकी, लेकिन स्मॉल वैल्यू है, कोई बात नहीं है. सम opposition will be there, but it is less as compared to the infinite one. Infinite से comparatively इसका जो opposition रहेगा in case of AC, it will be small. Okay, so in case of AC, it will allow the current to pass as compared to the DC. DC में तो पूरा ब्लॉक ही कर देगा, क्योंकि उसका कितना है, कैपेसिटिव रिएक्टेंस इनफाइनाइट आ गया है ना. So I think in this inductive reactance and capacitive reactance, you got these things here. In case of inductive reactance for DC, you got here 0. That means no opposition to the flow of current. आराम से DC को जाने देगा. In case of the inductor, when you will use the inductor in the circuit, purely inductive circuit you can say, लेकिन DC को क्या करेगा? ब्लॉक ही कर देगा. कहाँ पे? कैपेसिटिव, प्योरली कैपेसिटिव सर्किट में. और जहां AC को प्योरली इंडक्टिव सर्किट में AC को जहां पे फाइनाइट वैल्यू आ गई थी, कुछ अपोजिशन आया था एट कंपेयर टू दिस वैल्यू, तो यहाँ पे क्या हुआ? AC को तो उसने पूरा के पूरा यहाँ पे जाने दिया. यहाँ पे क्या हुआ? एज कंपेयर टू दिस वन, as compared to this one, you can say here the finite value, no doubt. Here also AC we are getting the finite value, but compare this one zero reactance and here some finite value of the inductive reactance. So comparing these two, this finite value is something greater than that of the zero. So this, there is no opposition in case of DC, but there is a opposition in case of AC, in case of inductive reactance. On the other hand, in capacitive reactance, or when you will apply an alternating EMF to a capacitor, in that case it will allow the AC to pass, okay, but it will block the DC. Why? Because in case of DC, the capacitive reactance is infinite, so there is no question to pass the current through it one. But as compared to this infinite, this small value of this capacitive reactance means it will at least allow some current to pass through it for in case of the AC. So these are the two important things you have to remember, and the question is also going to be asked on this particular topic, that for AC and DC, what will be the inductive reactance and capacitive reactance. So you have to write all these things here by comparing the things. So I hope today in this lecture we have seen the alternating EMF applied to a capacitor, so that we get the current leads the EMF. Current leads the EMF by an angle of pi by 2. You can see this is the mark of leads. Current leads the EMF in case of purely capacitive circuit. Purely capacitive circuit, you can say here you got this relation. So and in case of the inductive circuit, you can see in case of L, the current lags behind than EMF by pi by 2, and in case of the purely resistive circuit, the EMF and current are in the same phase. They are in the same phase. So all these capacitor, inductor and resistor, combining these three, we will study the series combination of LCR, that is resistor, capacitor and inductor. Across this we will apply the alternating EMF or voltage, and we have to find the relation for the, you can say, what will be the reactance of that particular circuit. So today I am going to conclude this topic here, and in the next lecture we will meet for by taking the new topic, that is LCR series circuit.